Alright, so by now, hopefully most of you guys have seen that we got a Monte Carlo SS for the channel, and I'm super pumped about it. I've been dreaming about it all night, wet dreams, thinking of different things to do with the car. But I think the first thing we're going to do, well, one of the first things we're going to do, is see how well we can clean it up. This is the original paint, and for the most part, it's not in terrible shape. Like, there's not a bunch of like serious scratches. There's a little bit of whatever here on the mirror, on the fender, from, I'm assuming, just people working on it and just rubbing it off here. That's not a huge deal to me. The car, what I'd like to do ultimately down the road is cut out all the rust, weld in new panels, and as much as I hate painting, probably throw a new coat of paint on it after, I mean, all the rust repair. You kind of have to do something like that eventually anyway. This isn't like trying to save the paint as much as it is just curiosity. Plus, I know I really enjoy like those paint correction kind of videos. They're just fun to watch. They're satisfying, especially when they work out. Sometimes they're satisfying when they don't work out too. So I think we're just gonna play around with that a little bit today and see how good we can get this thing to look, if at all. It might not clean up at all. I might completely burn through it and just destroy it. You know, who knows? Let's see if we can get some shine back into it. I'm gonna push it up to the garage, we'll hose it off, clean it up a little bit, and we'll start getting to work on it. Alright, we got it all cleaned up. God, I hope that wind noise isn't too bad. We got it all cleaned up. It looks, you know, about the same, honestly. Why would it really change just from washing it? Car's just about dry enough. I think I'm going to set up the buffer and see what we can do. I'm not sure if I want to start with the door or the quarter panel. I actually might start with this little like C-pillar right here, to be honest. Alright, so the first thing I want to do, just for comparison's sake, I wish I had painter's tape, but this is all I can find, is we'll just tape those off so we can have a defining line and see the difference. And then our 30-year-old stash of compounds, we got some of this. This looks like the most aggressive one we got as far as cutting goes. A bunch of polishing ones, which, sweet. And then believe it or not, this is as clean as this will get, so we're just gonna run it. Alright, so there's the before, and there's the after. And like you saw, this is only, wow, that is smooth. Rough, smooth, nice. And this is only like maybe a minute of work. So let's see the, oh my god. Oh my god! Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That turned out nice, to be honest. I think, unfortunately, now I gotta do the rest of the car. got this side of the car all done. I mean, at least with the cutting. And it looks way better. I hope it looks good on camera, because in person, it is a drastic difference. Look at that, you can actually see reflections in it now. It looks like what paint is supposed to look like. I mean, it still has a lot of orange peel, because that's just how these factory paints are, but I don't care about that. I mostly just wanted the gloss back in it, and I'd say that's pretty good. You can see the house. It's not perfect. Like I said, I have no idea how it's going to look on camera, but it's not perfect, but it's pretty dang good, and its age is better than it was. And I only went down to the stripe because I figured having it glossed below that would make like the rust kind of stand out more. Maybe someday I'll go back and polish this, but I think for the most part I'm going to leave that alone until I do decide to fix the rust. But let's show you what it looked like before all this. So right here is what it looked like before. You can kind of see some shapes, can't really make out many details, and I will be honest, this side looks like it's better than the other side was. So I should have done this side so that it was way more of a drastic difference between the two. But like when I pulled the tape off on that C-pillar over there after first doing it, it's that kind of difference. Now, unfortunately, I should probably stop here because the pad on the buffer is getting shredded. Like, that thing's already like 4 or 5 years old, and me trying to get around like these door handles and the trim and stuff like that, it's just not doing it any favors. So I think for now I might call it and run to like AutoZone or something and get some more wheels and maybe a little bit more aggressive compound to try and cut through some of this a little bit better. But aside from that, I think the car's turning out really, really good. Yeah, you can see what I mean with this wheel. No, I'm just kidding. Jasper and I already did the whole car. Does the car look better?
I don't think so.
Is it shinier?
Yeah, it's black.
It's black?
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Yeah, it has a little bit of gloss to it now. I'd say more of a satin, but at least it's not matte now, you know? Me running away from my responsibilities. But yeah, it cleaned up way better than I was expecting it to be honest. Like I said, I only went down to the stripe because I thought keeping down there kind of dirty would somewhat help hide a little bit of the rust. But everything else cleaned up pretty decently. I mean, I only went over it once with just some like cutting, polishing compound, like some combination. And this is so much smoother now. It doesn't feel like, you know, 180 grit sandpaper anymore. It's nice, you can actually see your reflection. From sitting outside, naturally the trunk and the roof were the hardest parts. I went over this section of the trunk twice and it looks pretty good. You know, I'm gonna have to go over here again. You can see a couple little like fuzzy, hazy spots over here is pretty good. I like it. Back here cleaned up pretty good. I'm pretty darn happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really good. It's just ratty enough to beat on, but it's not so ratty that you wouldn't want to be seen in it, you know what I mean? Which is right where I thrive. Like I said at the beginning, down the road, I do want to fix the rust and make it look presentable. I think right now it's in really nice driving condition. So, like with all this here, you wouldn't feel bad just parking it on a street somewhere and going in and getting some breakfast, you know? I mean, this is what like 35-year-old cars that get driven should look like. I think it turned out good. So now I just need to order the parts that I need to get this thing running and driving, because I'm itching to actually turn the key and fire it up, put it in gear, let's go. I'm ready. So that's definitely gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've never really done any like paint correction kind of videos, so I was kind of out of my wheelhouse. And it's so long and tedious, that's what she said. Just sitting down, spending like 5 minutes on one little panel. To get it from where it was to where it is now was at least 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours I'd say. I mean, some of that time was me just screwing around, but man, it was a lot of work. I'm ready to go home and just chill. So anyway, that's gonna do it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We'll see you next time. Jasper, you wanna say bye-bye?
Yeah. Bye-bye.